Hello BSCFT 4th. Today's online lecture topic is sedimentation. It's a kind of mechanical separation. Sedimentation uses gravitational forces to separate particulate material from fluid stream. In general language, we can say that sedimentation separates solid material from the liquid fluid by settling of the solid particles. The particles are usually solid, but they can be small liquid droplets, and the fluid can be either a liquid or a gas. Sedimentation is very often used in food industry for separating dirt and debris from incoming raw material, then crystals from their mother liquor, and dust or product particles from air streams. So in food industry, sedimentation is a very useful method to separate dirt, debris or unwanted part of raw material, like in wine making, beer making. Settling process is used to sediment the fibrous part of the raw material. In sedimentation, particles are falling from rest under the force of gravity. Therefore, in sedimentation, equation takes the familiar form of Stokes' law. What Stokes' law says about the velocity of the settling medium or settling velocity of the dirt particles. Vm is equal to d square g in bracket rho p minus pf upon 18 mu. So as we know that Vm is the settling velocity of the dirt particles, and d is the diameter of particles, g is the gravitational force, rho is the pressure, rho p is the pressure of particles, rho f is the pressure of the flow or the pressure of the medium that flows, and 18 mu is the viscosity of the medium. So all the entities used in this equation are not dimensionless. In general form, or where only solid particles are present in the liquid, that's viscosity is very low, then this Stokes' law equation is very useful. Other than that, the Reynolds number has to be calculated. Actually, Stokes' law applies only in streamline flow and is strictly only to spherical particles. In the case of spheres, the criterion for streamline flow is Re is equal to 2, and many practical cases occur in the region of streamline flow, or at least where the streamline flow is reasonable approximation, where higher value of Reynolds number are encountered. More detailed references can be sought from this link. Now moving to the Reynolds number. What is the Reynolds number? Now, Reynolds number is the ratio of internal forces to viscous forces within a fluid which is subjected to relative internal movement due to different fluid velocities. Now we can understand this where the one type of particulate or solid particles hinders the velocity of the other type of solid particles in the sedimentation process, and the viscosity of the medium in which sedimentation have to take place, then their Reynolds number, the value of Reynolds number are sought to be calculated. Okay, now settling velocity of the dirt particle. What is the settling velocity? Settling velocity, the thicker the fluid, the longer the settling time. The thinner the fluid, the faster the settling time. So, viscosity plays the major or important role in determination of the settling velocity of the dirt particle or dust particles in a fluid medium which is meant to be sedimentated. Now we can calculate settling velocity of dirt particles by the formula Vm is equal to d square g in bracket rho p minus rho f upon 18 mu. Now the example numerical is there. Example is calculate the settling velocity of dust particles of A 60 mu m. We will only see the example A, not example B. We will only focus on the example A. Now what it says? The numerical says calculate the settling velocity of dust particle of A 60 mu m diameter in air at 21 degree centigrade and 100 kilopascal pressure. Assume that the particles are spherical and density 1280 kg per meter cube and the viscosity of air is equal to 1.8 into 10 to the power minus 5 ns per meter square, and density of air is equal to 1.2 kg per meter cube. Now, as we know the formula, what formula says? Vm is equal to d square g rho p minus pf bracket close upon 18 mu, where d is the diameter of the particle which is given, diameter of the particle which is given, that is 60 mu m, the diameter. Now g, that is the gravitational force. We know the value of gravitational force, that is 9.81. Now rho p minus pf, both are the densities, density of the particle and density of the medium. Now density of the particle is given 1280 and density of the medium, that medium which facilitates the sedimentation. In normal case, medium is the air which facilitates the gravitational flow of solid particles to the lower zone of the sedimentation tank. So density of the air is 1.2 as given in the numerical problem. Now 18 mu is the viscosity of the medium, and viscosity of the air is 1.8 into 10 to the power minus 5 nsm meter square. Now we can calculate this from the given formula, and we can obtain the result as settling velocity of the dust particles in a general medium in which viscosity is low. Now, if we want to check the Reynolds number of the 60 mm particle, then the formula for Reynolds number is RE. RE that denotes the Reynolds number is equal to dV rho upon mu. Rho F is there. F must be in lowercase. Here you are seeing in uppercase, but it should be in lowercase. So write the rho and F in the lowercase. So D, we know that D is the diameter. Now V we know as the settling velocity. We have calculated the settling velocity, and rho F we know the density of the medium from the density of the air, which is the medium, and mu is the viscosity, and we know the viscosity. So we can calculate the Reynolds number. So as I am repeating it, that Stokes' law applies only to the cases in which settling is free. That what it means by free, that is where the motion of one particle is unaffected by the motion of the other particle. Where particles are in concentrated suspensions, the particles interfere with the flow pattern of the another particle as they fall. They can accelerate, bigger particle when they accelerate the gravitational falling, they can push another particle which can have a lower speed, so or higher speed, or it will accelerate the speed, or it can lower the speed because of the hindrance. So when there is that type of case where mixed type of solid particles where shape, size is different, then in that type of case simple Stokes' law cannot be applied. The combination of Reynolds number and the settling rates is decided by the continuous experiments. So continuous experiments means on the basis of trial and error. Now the gravitational sedimentation of particles in a liquid. Solids will settle in a liquid whose density is less than their own. As we know, if solid and fluid are not in homogeneous condition, then solid will settle in, and liquid whose density is less than the solids will settle down in the liquid if there is no motion present. At low concentrations, Stokes' law will apply, but in many practical instances, the concentrations are too high. Now, if we imagine a cylinder in which a liquid or fluid which is meant to be suspended is allowed by a inlet or filled by a inlet, and if we assume that there is a uniform suspension is allowed to settle, then we can see various quite well defined zones appear as the settling proceeds. At the top is a zone of clear liquid. As the fluid will sediment itself, then the top zone of the cylinder will be a clear liquid. Below this is a zone of more or less constant composition, constant because of the uniform settling velocity of all sizes of particles. So in the middle we can see the more or less constant composition, means the mixture of clear liquid as well as the suspended particles. At the bottom of the cylinder is a zone of sediment where the larger particles will lower down and settle there. If the side range of the particles is wide, the zone of constant composition near the top will not occur and an extended zone of variable composition will replace it. So if it is possible, there can be more zones on the basis of the shape, size and weight of the particles. But basically, if we imagine a sedimentation cylinder, the top zone will be the clear liquid, the middle zone will be the mixture and lower zone will be the clear sediment. Now the normal sedimentation tank or normal sedimentation liquid, how equipment, how it works. The sedimentation tank works for separation of solid particles from liquids by gravitational sedimentation, and it is designed to provide sufficient time, because time is the one of the most important factors for the sedimentation. Each and every fluid needs its own type of time or own type of specific time to complete the process of sedimentation and to permit the overflow and the sediment to be removed without disturbing the separation. If we want to continuously sediment the liquid, then we have to calculate the time of sedimentation. So we can see in this diagram the diagram of the sedimentation tank. We can see that it is the inlet, then it is the feed, then feed will be lower down, there is a rake shaft, the cylindrical rod is there, and the plate having some sort of space in between. It will move to clear the sedimentated particles. So it's a kind of broom to clean the sedimentation, and this is the overflow outlet, and this is the thickened liquid outlet. Thickened liquid, that is the sedimentated particles which are having higher concentration of sedimentation particle. So this can be used as a continuous process also. Now moving towards the flotation. Next type of sedimentation is flotation. We have seen the general sedimentation tank, the classic sedimentation tank or conventional sedimentation tank to separate solid from a liquid. Now the flotation. In some cases where it is not practicable to settle out fine particles, these can sometimes to be floated to the surface by the use of air bubbles. This technique is known as flotation, and it depends upon the relative tendency of air and water to adhere the particle surface. The water at the particle surface must be displaced by air, after which the buoyancy of the air is sufficient to carry both the particles and the air bubble up through the liquid. Now, what is buoyancy? Now, what is buoyancy? Buoyancy is a force on an object making that object rise or move upward. So, upward movement by the pressure of fluid or air is known as buoyancy. How buoyancy works in the flotation type of sedimentation process. The air bubble, some mist or kind of oil or anything like that which adhere the air bubbles and entrap some particles, some fine particles, and float them with the air particles to the surface. That is the flotation. The greatest application of froth flotation is in the concentration of minerals, but one use in the food industry is in the separation of small particles of fat from water. Dissolving the air in water under pressure provides the froth. As we know, if air swirls into the water or fluid, the froth production is there. We know about the process of mixing or blending. Blending creates the froth, and this froth, on the pressure being suddenly released, the air comes out of solution in the forms of fine bubble which rise and carry the fat with them to surface scrapers. And the rake shaft, if you remember in the figure, the rake shaft cleans the sediment, as well as same type of plates are used to scrape the surface in the flotation sedimentation process. Now, sedimentation of particles in a gas. It's an important application in food industry. of sedimentation of solid particles occurs in spray dryers. We know how spray dryers works. In this spray dryers, the material to be dried broken up into small droplets of about 100 micrometer diameter, and these fall through heated air, so they convert into the powder. So they come out from the help of micro nozzles in the form of small micro droplets through the heated air. So heated air dry these nano or these micro diameter droplets, and these converts into the powder. The necessary area so that the particle will settle can be calculated in the same way as for sedimentation. So it is also called the kind of sedimentation. Now, settling under combined forces. So it is sometimes convenient to combine more than one force to effect a mechanical separation. So we can use the force of gravity with the force of air. How? Example are the cyclone separators. Cyclone, we know the cyclone. What is a cyclone? Now we can see that we know the cyclone. How cyclone works? It's a large scale of air mass which swirl or rotates around a strong center of low atmospheric pressure, and inward spiraling winds that rotate about a zone of low pressure, and these are so much effective that these winds, this cyclone can take out anything and they can damage more than anything. So what is cyclone and what is lower pressure? Lower pressure means if we eliminate the air from a system, it is known as vacuum, and in vacuum the pressure is nil, means zero pressure is there, means air is absent and environmental pressure is zero. When environmental pressure is zero, if we boil something in that environment, the boiling point will reduce, means normally if anything boils on 100 degrees centigrade, it will boil at, for instance, 80 degrees centigrade in a vacuum or in lower pressure. So lower the pressure is lower, it will create air stream, and very much effective or very high velocity air streams will generate in the air pressure. So gravitational force as well as the force of air will be there. So we can see from this figure, as we can see the inlet flow which create the swirl. This is the cyclone. Inlet flow will create the cyclone. This is the inlet flow. This will create the cyclone. and the exit flow of air will be there, and the particles will move through the lower part. So it will use this gravitational force as well as the cyclone force to sediment the particles at the higher rates. Now, so you have understood the cyclone separators. Now the last one is the impingement separators. Now what is impingement? Impingement separators, in which if a flowing stream of a gas containing liquid mist is impinged against surface, the liquid mist may adhere to the coalesce on the surface. After the mist coalesces into larger droplets, the droplets will gravitate to the liquid section of the vessels. Other mechanical flow separators for the particles in a gas use principle of impingement, in which deflector plates or rods normal to the direction of the flow of the stream abruptly changes the direction of flow. The gas recovers its direction of motion more rapidly than the particles because of its lower inertia. Suitably placed collectors can then be arranged to collect the particles as they are thrown out of the stream. This is the principle of operation of mesh and fibrous air filters, where various adaptations of impingement and settling separators can be adapted to remove particles from gases. But where the particle diameters fall below about 5 micrometer, cloth filters and packed tubular filters are about only satisfactory equipment. So impingement separators basically uses the co-counter currents to separate the gas or to give out the way out to the gas. So basically I think it is clear, and you can prepare notes on the basis of this given lecture. This is the first topic under the mechanical separation. The first topic is sedimentation, and next will be the centrifugation, and next will be the ultracentrifugation.